Hi, this is Melanie for Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do a film review of Judgementall Hai Kya, starring Rajkummar Rao and Kangana Ranaut. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do film reviews and trailer reactions of Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and Malayalam cinema. This film was originally entitled Judgementall Hai Kya, and the Indian Psychiatric Association lodged a complaint and they changed the film name to Judgementall with two L's at the end, which is not the way you spell it in English, Hai Kya. It is a mix of genres. We have Kangana Ranaut, who plays a woman with mental illness. She is quite the character. And her co-star is Rajkummar Rao, who they have not been in a film together since Queen. And to me, probably the best thing about the film was seeing these two excellent actors playing off each other even more than they did in Queen, and with even more complex characters. It was just a delight to see them playing off each other. The film is written by Kanika Dhillon, who has written some of my favorite female characters recently. She wrote Kedarnath, and she also wrote Marzian, which is one of my favorite Hindi films of last year. She also wrote Size Zero, which is a Telugu film, and that was directed by her husband, Prakash Kovelamudi, who also directed this film. So this is a collaboration of the two of them together. I believe this is his first Hindi film. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like his other filmography was all in the Telugu industry. I really liked Size Zero. It was an interesting romantic comedy with Arya and Anushka Shetty playing this very overweight girl. This film reminded me of Anandan, and it reminded me of Birdman, and it just, wow, it is a complicated script. I read an interview with Kanika Dhillon recently, the writer, who said when her father passed away, she went through a couple of years of anxiety. And so she was wanting to write a film about someone who was not stable, who was dealing with mental health issues. In the opening minutes of the film, we learned the traumatic events of Bobby, Kangana Ranaut's character's childhood that lead to her psychosis. She's someone who doesn't always take her medication, who has outbursts, who has hallucinations, and she is our narrator. It's her viewpoint almost completely through the entire film. So there's off-kilter camera angles to show us that things aren't always the way they may be. You know, things are not as the way that she may be seeing them. So she's always wearing these really crazy outfits, which I loved her crazy sweaters. She works as a dubbing artist, so dubbing South films into Hindi, and then she likes to do photo shoots and dress up as her character, be it a rowdy runny cop or a ghost or whatever it is. She does these elaborate photo shoots. I mean, people call her in the film pagal, crazy, but she really is. At one point in the film, she gets put into an asylum, and she's obviously very familiar with it. So we're supposed to be sympathetic to this character who really doesn't have empathy for anyone else. She has a boyfriend in the film, and she basically uses him as like a Sherpa to carry all her groceries. But when she meets Rajkummar Rao, who is a tenant, her uncle manages her house, and he leases out part of her house to a young married couple, and she is fascinated with Rajkummar Rao. And oh my God, I don't know if he's ever looked so sexy on film. I mean, the film highlights his buff physique and his biceps, and oh my God, he gets to play such a complex character himself. We're never quite sure. He seems normal, but maybe too normal. there's just things that are off kilter about him. So Bobby, Kangana's character, is fascinated with him to the point of almost stalking him. And all sorts of crazy things start to happen. And she is suspicious of things, deeply suspicious. And us as the viewer are not sure, is she just obsessed? Is her perception not reality? Or is everyone discounting what she's saying because they know of her mental illness? The police, her relatives, and so forth. There's a break in the film. 2 years later, there's a setting in London, and Jimmy Shergill has a really fun small cameo role playing a director of a retelling of the Ramayana, and so she is Bobby is going to be an understudy for the actress playing Sita, and everything kind of mixes in her head of the lines from the play and the way that she's perceiving things that are happening. There's a twist after twist in the second half. You're really not sure what's real, what isn't. And then the very end of the film, there's like some extra characters, and she's walking triumphantly as if she's just like, this is me, this is my mental illness, accept all of it. There is a lot to unpack with this film. I admire the screenwriting. I saw a tweet by Ekta Kapoor, the producer of this film, who has said that every year she wants to produce one radical film. And I would say she accomplished that with this film. It is radical. It is a heroine like we do not see, Marzian had a really flawed heroine, but this is another step beyond. I admire it. I don't know if I loved it. I enjoyed watching, like I said, these two actors play off each other, but you can't help watch the film with all the baggage of knowing the mental health issues that we feel like we're seeing Kangana go through in the press and the way she confronts the press. And there's so many things going on with her in real life. And I don't know if the ending of the film, if she influenced that, because she is notorious for changing scripts and browbeating directors. I don't know. It's really hard to just watch the film on its own terms and separate out all of what's going on in the background in real life from the performance that we're seeing. I felt like Rajkummar Rao was excellent, and he played all the layers so subtly. Kangana's role is much more showy, but it also was sometimes like you could see the sausage being made, like you could see her trying to be delivering these lines in a really crazy off-kilter way. But I seriously cannot imagine any other actress doing this role, embodying the role of Bobby. And there's never a dull moment, I will tell you that. It is such an interesting script. It reminded me a little bit of the Telugu film Awe, starring Kajal Agarwal. And that was a film that was also showing someone with a dissociative disorder, a split personality, who we were seeing all these what seemed like short stories, and then it turns out it was all different personalities, different perceptions of one person who had gone through trauma and had mental illness. So I admire these filmmakers for exploring this subject, for doing something different, but I'm not going to say that I love the film like I did on None. One frustration that I had was when in the scenes in India, there was someone standing in a street corner holding up a sign in Hindi, and it looked like the messages kept changing, and as Kangana would ride by in a taxi, she would smile at the different messages, but they didn't subtitle that. So it was so frustrating because I felt like that was something that added to what her mindset was at different parts of the film. And it really frustrates me when there's something key like that the subtitlist does not include. The songs were mostly subtitled, and I did appreciate that, but really frustrating. I think this film is definitely worth seeing. especially for the performances. And this director, like I said, this is my second film of his. I would really love to see what other film he does next. But Kanika Dhillon is now one of my favorite screenwriters. She writes interesting women like nobody else in Indian cinema. And I can't wait to see what project she works on next, because I'm always fascinated by the complex, flawed women that she is giving us in Indian cinema. Let me know what you thought about this film in the comments below. I look forward to hearing your thoughts about the film, what you thought about Kangana's performance and Rajkummar Rao. Please do follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. I've just started an Instagram account. I'd love it if you follow me there. That is Pardesi Reviews on Instagram. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel here and click the bell when you do, then you'll never miss a notification for any new film reviews or trailer reactions.